G'day, ladies and gentlemen. ScottyD here from the Australis Tabletop Wargaming Network, and welcome into another announcement video for the War on Grey Plastic Challenge for 2024. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so as I did mention in the intro, we are going to be looking at the War on Grey Plastic Challenge for 2024. This is a challenge I've been doing for the past 4 years, and I've been really enjoying getting through a lot of my backlog, which there's so much in my backlog, it's ridiculous. But also, I want to share some stats and share a bit about the success that I've had with the challenge, before we jump into what the challenge for 2024 is going to look like. So what does this look like over the past 4 years for my personal hobbying? And I can say that since I've started doing this challenge, I have completed a lot, and I mean a lot, of miniatures and terrain. So I'm going to throw some stats at you to kind of give you a bit of a picture of how much of an impact this has actually had on my personal hobbying in general. So far in terms of units or pieces of terrain that I've completed, I've actually completed 73 different units from 34 different box sets that I had purchased over the past 4 years. Now, when you compare that to what I've actually purchased, I've only purchased 57 new units across 15 different box sets. So to put that in perspective, whilst I've purchased almost 2/3 of the units that I've completed, they have been in less than half the number of box sets that I've actually purchased. So that's going to be mainly in box sets like Indominus, or in the Necron half of Indominus that I also picked up, or the Elite Edition box set, or now Leviathan or Shadow Spear. In terms of those box sets that come with so many models and miniatures, whilst they might be monopose, there's a lot of value in them in comparison to picking them up individually. Now, in terms of monetary value of what I've completed, I've actually completed just under 2,500 Australian dollars worth of miniatures and terrain. And in terms of purchases, I've only purchased just over 1,500 Australian dollars worth of miniatures. So over the past 4 years, it actually means that I've completed roughly 1,000 Australian dollars in terms of box sets, more than I've purchased for my army. Now, this is just going straight off the RRP value of the kits or the box sets as well. If I'm just working on one particular half, of course, halving that box set value for that. So overall, I would say for the past 4 years, I've reduced my backlog significantly, getting through so many units, so many pieces of terrain, whilst also being able to purchase new models that have mainly been a part of those large box sets and miniatures, like Indominus, like Leviathan, to add more new stuff to my armies, but also to get value for money out of my purchases as well, which I would say has been quite successful in terms of being able to cut through my backlog over time as well. So if you have not taken part in the War on Grey Plastic Challenge before, if you may have heard of it before but haven't known what it's all about, this coming year is going to be a great time to do so, because for the 2024 War on Grey Plastic Challenge, we are going to be just getting back to basics for the 2024 challenge, which we always kind of change things up every year. But this year, I just want to strip it back to the basics of the challenge that I have come up with and what I'm doing. And this is also based off the War on Grey Plastic Challenge that the Independent Characters podcast did many years ago, that they no longer handle, as it's morphed into a few other things as well. So as with every year, we've got a few goals for this challenge that I'm going to set up for you guys. And really, it's to inspire and encourage you to work through your piles of grey plastic you've been accumulating over the years as a hobbyist. We've all got them in varying degrees, or some of us might not. If you're a newer hobbyist and you've really gotten to the point where you're just buying a box, building it, painting it, getting it on the battlefield before you buy new stuff, that is awesome. But this could also be a challenge where if you're wanting to do an army across a year, you can buy everything you need and do it in that format as we do the Great War on Grey Plastic Challenge. Now, the goal in terms of units is we're looking to complete at least 12, if not more, units throughout the year, with the aim of reducing your backlog of miniatures that you've been sitting on, so you can get them on the table, have them fully painted, and use them in your games as well. Now, you might be wondering, what is the best method for going about and completing this challenge for this year? Now, the methods that you can go through can vary. However, I will be following the method that I've been doing personally. I'm going to share that with you. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the 2024 challenge. I'm going to be aiming to paint and base 1 to 2 groups of models each month Now, this could be whole units, or it could be half a unit or a couple of models from a unit, depending on the detail of the models, how long I expect to take on them, and such as well. I will still only be purchasing new box sets up to the equivalent monetary value of the box sets that I have completed for the challenge each year. This is optional. If you don't necessarily want to be doing that, that's perfectly fine. But if you're wanting to reduce your pile of grey plastic you've got sitting there, this is a great incentive to be doing so. So if the more models you complete, the more you're going to be able to purchase new stuff as well. And not going over that also sets you a limiter on your purchases too. Now, I'll be personally creating a list of primary projects of box sets or batches of models of purchases that I've made that are already in progress, and then creating a secondary project list of new box sets to make progress on. So I've already kind of got 13 units, the first 13 groups or units of models that I'm going to be working on figured out, and then I've already got the secondary project list that I'll have that'll be in addition to that main list as well. Now, you might be thinking, what is the best advice that you could get for doing this challenge that I can give you? And I'm going to give you a few pointers for the way that I've gone about it to help be successful for this challenge for the following year. The best way to do it is to start off by finding the best way you're able to paint and base your models to maintain momentum whilst consistently getting a sense of accomplishment alongside of completing units for this challenge. So for example, I've been working on the Deathwatch Kill Team Cassius box for a while. Those models are incredibly detailed, so I've actually broken it down into doing 2 models per batch for those because of how much detail is involved with them. Whereas, you know, I might work on 3 Primaris Eliminators like I'm doing at the moment, or I might work on a batch of 5 Necron Warriors at a time. It's just finding what batch painting styles you prefer and how to go about that, and the quickest way that you can get models done that you're wanting to do them in that style. Now, if you're struggling with getting through units in a timely manner for this challenge and you're trying to get to a relatively high painting standard, something I would suggest is to aim for a battle ready standard rather than aiming for that parade ready standard, which will allow you to actually get your units done to a decent level. Then you can go back over time, add those washes, add those highlights. And we kind of do show you how to go about that in a pretty easy manner in the From Sprue to Tabletop series on our YouTube channel, as well as we've just finished our Assault Intercessor. So we've got all the videos from start to finish on assembling and base coating and cleaning, all the way up to your edge highlighting and basing as well. And you can take whatever pieces you want from that for this process. It would be a really good guide to help you jump into this challenge if you're jumping into it for the first time as well. Now, whilst this challenge is primarily focused on Warhammer 40,000, you can do it for any other miniatures game, whether that's Age of Sigmar, Middle-earth strategy battle game, or Malifaux, Infinity, etc. Whatever you feel like doing it for, you can commit to that for this challenge. Now, there are a few rules that we are going to maintain for this challenge as per the previous years. Now, the models that you choose to be a part of your primary or secondary list can be unassembled, assembled, base coated, but at most can be base coated with 1 primary color, or you can have them prepared with a Xenothor Prime or prepped them with slap chop dry brushing if you're going to do the slap chop painting method, which is going to be a really good method to get things done quickly if your models do allow for that style of painting on them. Now, units must be in their legal size with a minimum number of models for that legal unit being taken within an army list. So for example, you can take 5 Intercessors, 10 Necron Warriors, 4 Custodian Guards, or a Screamer Killer Carnifex, just having 1 of those. So depending on what units you are picking in your challenge, you have to just have the minimum unit size. For that, you could do the maximum if you want to, or anywhere in between. It's completely up to you, but the minimum is the minimum expectation for this challenge. Now, you can start to prepare for the challenge now, and you won't actually need to lock down your list for this year's challenge until February 1st, 2024. However, if you want to lock down your list now before then, you can, as I will also be doing that and getting started in January for the challenge as well. Now, the best thing you can do to help yourself with this challenge is for your models to at least be assembled. And because you don't want to lose time every month trying to assemble your models each month to then work on them and paint them. So that can be a real time sink. So if you just spend January building all the models that you're wanting to work on, that's perfectly fine. You'll just need to kind of make up some time in the year to actually get through those 12 units over the remaining 11 months. Now, if you have a chance to also maybe get the undercoating on them or base coating with the color that you're wanting to do for the main color, for example, Space Marine's really easy to do a color undercoat using Army Painter or Games Workshop paints, or doing a primer and then airbrushing that color on. If you do like using an airbrush, you can cut down a lot of time on that, especially if you're wanting to get through more than one unit a month. Now, once you've got your list that you're wanting to do and are ready to make a start, make sure you jump into the Australia's Tabletop Wargaming Network's Discord server, which is linked down below. We've got 150 members in there, but if you jump in there, there's going to be some War on Grey Plastic dedicated channels where you're going to be able to post up your list that you're wanting to work on this year, as well as posting up the completed projects that you get throughout the year as well, so that you're able to encourage each other like we've been doing over the past few years and really jump in to the challenge as a community as a whole. And feel free to get your friends involved and share the word about this challenge, because I want to see more people jumping in and getting involved with the challenge, but also getting through their backlogs and their piles of shame as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so that is going to be it for this video. I know it's a bit of a short and sweet one, but it is on the War on Grey Plastic Challenge, which is something near and dear to my personal heart. I love to continue this challenge for as long as we're doing content here on the ATWN to help you guys get through your hobbying backlogs for what you need to be doing, or to keep on going, building existing armies and give you a nice structure around it doing so. Now, if you do want to catch any of the other content we do create here on the ATWN, whether that's here on YouTube or on Twitch, for YouTube, make sure you hit the like button and leave a comment if you did enjoy this video. And if you are planning on participating in this challenge, feel free to let us know what you're planning on working on also. And if you want to catch more of the other content that we are creating on the network, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to be able to be notified as when we are creating more content and releasing more content here on YouTube as well, whether that's from Sprue to Tabletop or tournament coverage or tournament previews, South Pacific ITC snapshots, the whole works of stuff that we do. Now, if you do want to catch us live when we are doing hobbying sessions to be encouraged and hobby along with us, or if you want to catch tournament previews, tournament coverage and such as well, make sure you follow us over on our Twitch channel, Australia's TWN, so you're able to be notified as to when we are starting up the streams by turning on that notification bell over there as well. I also want to give a massive shout out to everyone who's subscribed to our YouTube this year, everyone who's followed us on Twitch, who has subscribed to us on Twitch, as well as supported us via Ko-Fi as well. Really appreciate your support, whether that is just watching our videos and content, subscribing to our channels, doing anything that's free, or also subscribing using primes or using your own money to support the network. Really do appreciate every single one of you who enjoys our content and watches it, and we're looking forward to bringing you more throughout the new year as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.